Hello, Internet! It is that time of the year again. I don't know why I went with year. That sounds dumb.
I don't either.
I was gonna say, you mean week? Because we do this on a bi-weekly basis?
Well, we also do it on a Max, what's the Roman word for 100?
You could just say
Why?
centennial.
Centennial basis as well. No, it's a...
I'm not gonna lie, that
That's
just threw me
everyone's favorite
completely
word.
off.
Regardless of that fact, I am SneakyDevil, and this is
What
Fanfiction
is
Contempt
the
Theater
word for it? Now I'm
9002.
bothered.
Is there a word for doing something 100 times a year? Because we should use that more often. It would make us sound far more important. Let me just ping on out to everyone. Maggots. Let's see. What fanfiction shall we do today?
Alright, UK. That's weird.
Oh?
Yeah, they have a site called knowtheromans.co.uk.
Of course they do.
Categories, timeline, quizzes, lists,
Harry Potter,
FAQs, images.
Naruto.
Wow, this is
Naruto.
the. They even have a bookshop.
Facing Night Ruby.
What is this?
No, you don't
How
know
to
that.
be a Roman.
Of course, the fucking
That better
British.
be a real big lesson in imperialism.
You know what? You know what? Let
The
us
tag
do this one.
the tag for this. Got a time machine heading back to ancient Rome. Read this to prevent yourself sticking out like a sore thumb.
All right, lads. So we are going to do a Halo Warframe crossover.
Ah, excellent. It's Max's turn to suffer.
Eh. I mean,
Oh, completed.
it's been a while since I've been up to date on Warframe lore.
All
So
right, of course.
But you're the
link
most
shall
up
be
to date.
provided. The link shall be provided into the doobly-doos in the Discord, and of course, do not contact the author at any time or by any means, because that is considered by Twitch to be harassment. So, with that being said, let us get on with it. Yeah, there we go. So this is... Where did it go? God damn. How do I misplace that?
What?
did you misplace?
Your apple juice bottle?
No, I was holding a rock in my hand, and I don't know where it went.
No, hold on. Why were you holding a rock?
Nah, who gives a shit about that? I'm just impressed he lost it while holding it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm impressed by that too, but I'm curious as to why the massive shut-in has a rock.
Well, you don't just have a desk rock?
No, I don't. I have a desk sword.
Plebiscite. The rock will never fail you.
Unless you misplace it from your fucking hand.
You know what? That is a main problem for me, okay? Anyway, this is called Beyond the Void. The Grenier have discovered an Orcan artifact that can open portals to other universes. The Tenno find out and attack them with a railjack fleet. Oh, these are all words. I don't know fucking idea.
Wait, how old is this story?
May 29th.
Of this year?
Yes. Updated 1 hour ago. In the midst of battle, a Tenno squad and their railjack is sucked into the collapsing portal. As they exit the portal, they find themselves in the Human Covenant War.
Max, what the fuck is a railjack?
Yeah, what the fuck
Okay,
is a railjack?
so a railjack is going to just straight up be a pilotable interceptor of sorts, manned by anywhere from 1 to 4 Tenno.
Gotcha, they finally
Is
put
that-
real ships in the game. Not that I
Yeah,
didn't like the Gundam backpacks.
We're getting actual space battles in a more entertaining format. They haven't even been implemented in the game yet, though, so I question the attempt to use them in a story. At the
Don't
moment.
worry, from what I heard from my very valuable source on this story, you're going to be questioning a lot more very soon. If they are to return home, the new Tenno must find allies quickly. Alright, so this is a sci-fi adventure story featuring Master Chief, the operator, Tenno, and Cortana.
This will end poorly.
Yes. Yes, it will. The following timeline is completely fictional. Dates used in this timeline is the author's attempt to create an accurate depiction of events that occurred in the Warframe universe. I do not own either. Oh boy! The first chapter is just a fucking timeline! That's always an amazing way to get readers. It's just a timeline, guys. This first chapter, look at the timeline. Oh boy. Well,
Guys, I'd like to prepare a timeline for you.
at least we can skip over it fucking quickly. Jesus Christ.
Let's just go to chapter 2.
Orokin Empire.
Although, to be fair, I will actually give
Zarian
him credit for this.
10-0.
It's much more likely that someone would click on a Halo crossover, like coming
Well,
for Halo,
yes.
than...
But the thing is that I don't fucking care about the Tenno timeline. If I'm clicking, if I've like barely heard of Warframe, it's like, oh, it's that Space Ninja game or whatever, and I see there's a crossover with Halo, I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll just check it out. And the first chapter is a goddamn timeline. I'd just be like, oh, is it a Halo timeline or something? Nope, it's the Warframe timeline. Oh boy, I don't care about this. A grand ceremony and blah 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 shit. What the fuck? I don't care.
Hey, Max, the author picture. It looks kind of like a gym, doesn't it?
Looks like someone tried to smash a gym with a nightmare frame and didn't quite succeed.
Yeah.
Anyway. So this is Earth. The Oro
point is, it
sector.
looks dumb.
Your Excellency, there is a report from one of the scouts. Counselor Vayhek turned his head to face the Grineer messenger. He had just left a teleconference with the queens and was seething with anger. The Worm Queen was dissatisfied with his latest attempt to destroy the Tenno. He had hoped to poison the infested boil that had landed in the plains of Eidolon and infect the native Ostronons. Once the Ostronons had died, he would claim the entire plains for the Grineer Empire. However, it was thwarted by the Tenno. They raided his supply depots and managed to destroy the boil before he could poison it. In addition, Grineer operations were in a constant mess and the leadership was under duress. Heck had heard rumors of Tyrell Regor trying to increase production of his Tube-men. Boy, this is a lot. For a Halo Warframe cross, this is a whole bunch of Warframe that I really don't care for. Regor lacked the necessary resources to continue his program and blah 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 words and Warframe shit. Space Ninja's complicated story. Blah 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 murder hobos. Blah 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 fodder enemies die a lot. Blah 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 that causes problems for the people that aren't fodder enemies. Void keys and blah 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 drones. I feel Max slowly dying.
Oh, no, I'm ignoring it because he's clearly trying to put a timeline on a game that is
Timeline
Probably-
adverse.
a couple thousand years old rather than just the clean 1,000 here. Like, they're really ambiguous with the actual timeline, so
See, this is this is why most Warframe stories don't try to do a timeline, and they're just like, yeah, some Tenno just ended up in this universe, and like stuff happened and whatever. And it's like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so there's this Tenno who can use a lot of cool shit. They're there.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, cool, that's nice, neat.
Although, I will say this, there is actually an important timeline distinction based on what's going on. Because at one point in the timeline, it's kind of difficult to work the physics of the Tenno going through the portal.
How so?
well,
Do you think he gives a shit about the spoilers, Max?
No.
spoilers for Warframe.
Yeah.
Does anyone in our chat give a shit about spoilers for Warframe? Because the Warframe
I
community is
did.
actually really good. Oh, I know, but I mean in the chat, like the Warframe community is actually really good about not spoiling shit for story
Yeah.
quests.
Look, if they're here, they don't care about spoilers.
Fair. We'll give them a 10-second warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. You've been fucking warned. So the Tenno, there's nobody actually inside the Warframe.
Yeah.
You're a small child in a magic psychic pod.
A horribly mutated child that they throw into an endless abyss for science.
Still a magic child inside a pod, though. That's the
Yes.
important part here.
The transference process that was mentioned in that timeline is literally, what if we make suits for these kids to be able to harness their abilities?
Then there does come a point in the timeline where you get ripped out of the pod and have to physically put yourself in the suit with psychic powers. That part's not really clear, but you're physically in the suit.
Right.
And you no longer need the pod.
Right.
The point there being, depending on when they're in the timeline, it could just be a psychic entity going through the pod, which wouldn't actually do. And it's, does the portal disrupt their psychic powers or whatever?
You're not gonna get to the shit that made me quit the story until around chapter 5. Okay, well, we're not getting to chapter 5, so I guess we're not gonna get to that point then. Hello, Moth.
I think it's
Blah
adorable he
blah
thinks we'll get
blah,
past chapter 2
Warframe
here.
garbage, blah blah, void stuff, blah blah, the Grineer are like the Imperial Legion, blah blah blah, sentient starships, blah blah blah, guns and crap.
Blah, 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 guns and crap.
Sounds about right.
Earth,
Welcome to Earth!
Grineer generals, and angry people, and blah 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 blah, angry Grineer scientists, and blah 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 blah. Did you get the information we needed? Space question mark? Parentheses, comma.
Off to a fantastic start.
To be fair, that's like the only one I've seen. Oh, no, they do it again. Question mark, parentheses, comma. Oh boy, they do it right here too. Period, parentheses, comma. Somebody didn't pay attention in English class.
English is for nerds.
Yes, clearly.
I am American. I speak freedom. Caw.
Alright, so instead, let's get on with the story I kind of wanted to cover. But, I just wanted to have something else,
Wait, really? That was it?
Yeah, that's it. That was the chapter.
The whole first chapter doesn't even have the magic space ninjas.
No, it was just Grineer being, we're angry!
The thing I came for.
Yeah, exactly. Literally the first chapter of the timeline, the second chapter is Grineer being like, we're angry at stuff!
Now, to be fair, the Grineer have an excellent reason to be angry at stuff.
I didn't say they didn't. I'm just saying that was the entire chapter. Alright, so this is Worm
right then.
My Hero Academia. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, this could be good, right? And if it's on this show, it's not. So don't get your hopes up, champ. So this summary starts off with Izuku Midoriya has 9 imaginary friends. I'm sure everyone who's read Worm knows where this is going. Except they're not really his friends, and their quirks are anything but imaginary.
This angers me immensely.
Oh yes, does it?
Leave Izuku alone. He does not deserve this. He is good lad.
Prologue: The Boy and His Demons. If you're not gonna stop, he felt it in the air, semicolon. Long before he ever reached the place, he knew there was something wrong. The entire police building was alight with activity, throngs of officers moving to and fro with a sort of fervor that escaped him. It all felt hurried, frantic, and utterly panicked, as if All Might himself had fallen, and now they were left to pick up the pieces. Shuchikage no Masa had seen this before. A villain had gone out of control once, his quirk somehow allowing him to stabilize the holding cell's foundations to free some others. All of that turned into a shit show that forced several heroes to come and stop the escaped villains from taking over the station. This was similar, but different in a way. The officers were still frantic, and the place still seemed bustling as they moved to complete some task, yet all of it looked contained enough for himself to be called in to question someone in a recent villain attack. Though the detective knew from experience that things could be way different from how they seemed, still he had a job and flashing his badge at some jittery members as he walked by served to get that started. They nodded in recognition, and their faces flashed with a form of relief that was clearly palpable, just another thing that set his hackles arise. Detective! A man walked up to him, his eyes large and slitted. A mutation quirk, he added, mentally wondering the applications. I'm glad you're here. We honestly not sure how to handle this, and calling All Might or any other hero felt wrong. Tsuchikachi's face twisted into a frown. Wrong? I was told to come in to question someone, semicolon. I had assumed they were the villain in yesterday's robbery. You're not wrong, the man paused, hesitating, before a little reluctance peeked through. They were involved in the previous robbery and subsequent murders, but it's more apt to call them the victim. Why am I here again? Ah, yes, the murderers.
See, now I just imagine, like, Bakugo in a police department. Why am I here again? Ah, right, the murders.
There was a time when he had believed that leaving All Might to solve the problems of the world was the answer. That time left him the more he interacted with criminals, the more he found that almost everyone had something they were hiding. And as much as he disliked it, sometimes a lie is better than the truth. So he was escorted down the halls of the building into the interrogation cells. The place was cold and harsh as he left it, semicolon, a sort of small square cutout of the world that was made to hold criminals, murderers, rapists, and all types of scum that the world naturally nurtured. I didn't realize criminals, murderers, and rapists were all separate categories. I mean, I knew murderers and rapists were, but I didn't realize criminals was a different category from murderers and rapists.
Well, see, you have to separate the criminals from the rapists and the murderers so that you know which ones are socially acceptable to rag on.
Ah, yes, of course. After all, he didn't do nothing.
All he did was desire to touch a child, you pedophobe.
I guess I'm gonna ditch because I don't fucking care about MHA. Well, I mean, it is Worm too, and the Slaughterhouse 9 are involved. So if you care about that, you can check around. Fucking piece of shit, just leaving because you don't care. Disregarding my valuable lessons. Jesus Christ, Moth! How did you not realize it was the Slaughterhouse? It's literally called +9, 9 imaginary friends. He's in here for the murders.
The many murders.
Oh boy, I've been paying.
Does Moth not like the Slaughterhouse 9?
Apparently not.
Huh.
What did you just send me? I'm going to become the Pirate King even if I can't swim. Turn your favorite anime title into a light novel title. Oh, are they making fun of One Piece?
Yep. There are some good ones in there.
You know what? Maybe we'll look at that next because we all need a freaking laugh.
There's a great one for Evangelion.
Oh,
boy.
please tell me what that one is. Is it mommy issues?
No, it is not. Oh god. I need to find it again. I gotta pull that thread back up. It's one of the few times I will ever give Crunchyroll credit. Whoever's running their Twitter is halfway competent at times.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, Sneaky. They should hire the Empire Twitter guy.
Where'd
God.
it go?
Is he still at it?
I'm sure he is.
Oh, yeah, here it is. That time my dad forced me to pilot a giant robot that was actually a living being while trying to manage my relationship with a German girl and a clone of my deceased mother.
Bit wordy, but accurate.
That's the new light novel fad for you, where it's like that time that I was reincarnated as a being of immense power in a world where everyone was also immensely powerful, and I was actually the weakest person there. Is like a new fucking light novel title fad.
See, you know what? I'll give Overlord this. It's a simple fucking title. What are you reading? Overlord. What's it about? Some dude in an MMO who ends up in a fantasy world.
Max level.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. But no, yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I can
What's he
sort of
do?
understand.
He accidentally rules the world.
Yeah. Like, I can sort of understand, like, names being hard to come by. It's like, this is previously a web novel, you just kind of posted on your blog that you were just, doing whatever. It's like, oh, that time I was reincarnated as a sword or whatever. And it's like, you don't really have a clever name for it. But, like, for the love of all that is Japanese weeb, just come up with a good name when you get serialized. When the company approaches you for a light novel, manga, anime deal, just be like, yeah, can we change the name actually to like, The Galantine or some shit like that, just something. Like,
or if you're gonna be wordy, be so quirky that like even if I don't necessarily like the story, I have to remember the title. Like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord.
yes.
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
at least I remember the title.
yeah. Or as shit as the anime has been, and as cliched and gimmicky as the entire story itself is, from the world's weakest from common man to world's strongest or whatever it's called. Max?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I want to say it was
Whatever its
from
title is.
it was from like the weakest, the world's strongest.
Like that's still a decent title, that's still catchy, that still, basically
It
explains
still
what's going
gives you
on
an idea
here.
of what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But it's just like these freaking titles I've seen recently. It's like, I reincarnated as a vampire lolly, but I'm actually a 34-year-old man, and all I want to do is sleep. It's like, how are you gonna fit that on the spine of a book? Just abbreviate the whole thing?
I was gonna say, even stuff like Reborn as a Vending Machine. Sure, it's got a subtext, but the basic what's the premise here? Some schmuck became a vending machine. Is this dumb? Absolutely. Am I gonna read it? You bet your ass.
I keep hearing good things about that one.
It's a great shitpost, is what I'll say about it.
It's surprisingly fun to read at times.
Because Sneaky, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a shitpost.
Yeah.
And it makes no qualms about being a shitpost. Like,
Excellent.
It's like, listen, this dude is gonna have a vending machine to do whatever he fucking needs to do at this moment.
Excellent.
But like creatively, like,
yeah.
a bunch of people are cold. I'll dispense hot drinks. but you still have to fucking pay me.
Yeah, and he can only dispense things that he can only dispense things he's bought from.
Which, again, the entire reason the whole thing works is because it's in Japan, land of the crazy panty vending machines.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the sheer amount of vending machines is
I'm waiting for the pizza
ridiculous.
vending machine to make an appearance.
Anyway.
I'm disappointed it hasn't.
So as we were saying, let's see, where were we? I'm lost now. A victim. Here we go. The detective's features curled a bit, unsure as to what to think of that. Yesterday there had been a robbery gone horribly wrong, and he had only heard of some type of monochrome bubble as well as trapped innocence. A failure on multiple inconsistent reports from heroes as well as the ineptitude of corresponding first responders. There was a time when he had believed the blah 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 blah, so he was escorted down the halls and blah blah blah, rapist, blah blah. One-way glass, none of those. Instead, he found a boy at age 5 or 6 sitting in the same chair that held monsters. A boy with white, pale skin sat there, shivering, messy, dark green hair. Green eyes were dull, blah blah. Boy twitched in the empty room. His eyes looked up to the glass to stare at him. What's going on? Why is there a child inside the room? The boy pleaded to be put into the most secure location we had, and you did that. There were a great many things he could learn, blah blah blah. He knew lies, blah blah blah. It wasn't my order, I'm just here. The author was put off, blah blah blah. More specifically, where it listed the boy's quirks. The fact that multiple distinct powers existed within one person was impossible. His friend had only told him of one such outlier, but a 6-year-old boy wasn't one of them. Now, though, he wondered why the boy's originally recorded quirk had been erased by multiple others. Why did it say he used to have some kind of exotic energy kinesis, but suddenly have these? What happened? Energy kinesis. Is he talking about One for All?
He shouldn't be?
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. The officer stuttered his answer. We don't know. Quirk assessments discovered he could sense and partially interact with some form of energy broadcast for some reason, though the equipment could pick it up. His new quirk was seen at the robbery yesterday.
Oh no! They're probably talking about something to do with the fucking magic spooky people. What and out powers?
No, his quirk was to pick up energy broadcasts that we can't detect. I'm assuming that means his quirk was the ability to trigger, or some sort of shit like the ability to interact with a shard or something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, couldn't remember any of the correct words.
Yeah. And probably having trouble with powers and quirks. Things turned out. Where's the parent? She's currently being sedated in the emergency room. She apparently was heavily injured. Blah blah blah. And was promptly went to saving her along with augmenting her. Woof. Woof. You're free to go. We can handle it from here. Can you tell me what's going on? I think you left out quite a bit in the background. As necessary precaution. Recovery Girl requested this, and All Might is sponsoring the child in therapy. Whining at their names being thrown around. What happened during the robbery? I can't say most of it, but the boy used his new quirk to incapacitate them to an extreme degree. Both the villains and heroes that went in to save him. Not only that, he basically walked out of there without any officer moving to stop him. They later informed us the boy had mind-controlling quirks along with everything else previously seen. Mind controlling. I don't know which iteration of the 9 we're talking here. Everything was truthful, blah, blah, blah. Why is he here with those quirks he'd be able to run? That is for what you're here for. See if the sponsorship given by the heroes need extra consulting. A boy with quirks that were super powerful, blah, blah. It all blended together to him. Mind controlling was just a confounding variable. Hello, can you hear me? My name is Namosa Mufastafastafu. Where's my mommy? She's saved. No, I didn't finish. Her nail glands are making too much stuff. We need to help her.
What?
Adrenal.
Oh.
The author is trying to make a young child be completely incapable of speaking, even though I've seen 4-year-olds talking complete sentences without stuttering on a single word.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I can't really fault the author too much on that. My 13-year-old brother is still incapable of speaking a complete sentence. Anyway, Izuku's kind of smart though. So. Don't worry, we'll make sure to keep her safe until we finish, and then you'll have a full cooperation. He felt sick talking to a child like this. His words weren't lies. The boy was so long with Yakuza and blah 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 blah. I asked you some questions, but if you don't want to answer them, you don't need to answer them. Can you tell me why you turned yourself in? I want to be a hero, but we did something bad. Could it be someone's forcing you to do this? No, they're up here, 9 of them. They tell me things. I don't think they're nice people. They obviously all think it's schizophrenia. Blah 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 blah. Notions of sponsorship and blah blah blah. Therapy. Have you used your mind controlling quirk on All Might or Recovery Girl? No, we used that by mistake first, but I just talked to them. Another truth to his utter relief. Okay. Jack Slash does not have a mind controlling quirk, author. Gonna fucking stop you right there. Jack Slash does not have a mind controlling quirk. He has something that we all like to call charisma. Okay? It's this magical thing that people who know how to talk to other people have that allows them to talk to other people and do it well. And you see, people tend to be retarded. Just a little bit. Everyone's just a little bit retarded. Just a little bit in certain areas.
Or a lot in the case of Scion.
Yes. And you see, most people can be easily convinced by someone with charisma of something. Because the person with charisma sounds like they know what they're talking about. And because most people don't know better, they're convinced by it. Now, that's not a fault on anyone. Because, of course, it's hard to know everything. Nobody really does. And so when someone comes along and acts confident, claiming to be an expert in a thing you don't know and says something, you go, well, I can't really dispute that, and that sounds sensible, so I shall believe you.
Listen, the United States Constitution says you can absolutely murder people as long as they walked into your house first.
Didn't his shard also give him an insight into other capes so he could mess with them or fuck with capes? No. Nope.
No, he was one of the most dangerous things for a murderer. Intelligent.
Yes.
And a skilled sociopath.
Now, however, his shard did, however, alert him to other capes attempting to do things to him, which is why he was always able to dodge it. He just had he didn't, know it, but he just didn't kind of, sixth sense that,
he had a spidey sense for
basically,
capes.
Yeah. And he was be like, oh, so they're attacking me from behind, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. It was a subconscious thing, not like a conscious thing he could do. And it most certainly wasn't mind controlling. And I just really dislike the author somehow thinks that Jack Slash talking to people is somehow mind controlling. It's called, well, I guess you could call it mind controlling, but it's just charisma. Hitler had it, Stalin had it, Trump had it. Not a great.
I was gonna say 90% of the U.S. presidents have had it.
Yeah.
Like, Washington had that shit in spades. How else do you think he convinced a bunch of starving people who were cold and frostbitten to remain cold and frostbitten and hungry?
Yeah.
For freedom?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm looking at the wiki, by the way, on top of like his natural charisma.
Yeah.
There was one other thing, like anyone with a shard, that sixth sense, that was just enhanced intuition. It also gave him an ability to influence emotion. So not mind control, but he knew what to say to piss them off.
Yeah, but he was also really intelligent
two aspects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, but according to the wiki, this is probably word of God shit from Wildbow's mouth. It was so subtle, Jack wasn't even aware of it himself.
Exactly. Yeah, and you just and a little boy, like regardless of the situation, a little boy talking to a bunch of police officers, and then just being like, "Yes, you belong here." No. I don't care what degree of subtle manipulation you got there. No police officer is gonna be like, yes, this small child can just walk away from this crime scene after murdering people. No.
That's not how that works.
Police officers are literally trained to go, I'm 90% sure this kid isn't a murderer, but I need to be 100.
Well, no, not even that. It's just literally, okay, anyone at this scene at all period is staying here.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if we saw the kid, like, run into the building when the murders were happening. Like, doesn't matter.
No, doesn't matter. Another truth, there's other relief, blah blah blah, he caused damage, sure, his quirks were deadly, blah blah blah, mental instability, blah blah blah. However, with the support of Japan's #1 hero as well as a recovery girl, the boy could hopefully fix the presented problems.
What?
What? How the hell would recovery girl fix mental illness?
Her entire quirk is she can fix injuries, and that's it.
Otherwise, kissing Bakugo would have solved a lot of problems.
That's true.
Yeah. Probably.
It also would have helped Deku a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get rid of that giant inferiority complex, kid.
Tsuchikachi settled away from tense atmosphere. The kid was trembling. But don't worry, kid, you're not in trouble. I want to say good job stopping the villains. He didn't mention the fact that unlicensed quirk usage was illegal. Okay, again, this is like frickin' Japan stupid. This is like dumbass Japan shit right here. I always thought this was the stupidest thing ever. You can't use your quirk unless you're licensed. It's like, alright, sure. What if someone has a gun pointed at me? It's still illegal. Okay.
Well, I was going to say, there's a series called Wearing the Cape by Marion G. Harmon. I'm a big fan of it because it takes place in Chicago, for the most part. And it came out a little bit before My Hero Academia. I think it might have come out right around the same time.
Right.
But it's very much a similar look at, like, it's like, we're going to look at this from a realistic perspective. Superheroes are all over the place, and there are laws designed to incorporate them into the U.S. justice system.
Okay.
And one of the laws I actually liked that they put in, they were like, listen, superheroes have secret identities for a reason. So as long as they make their identity known to the government, they can appear in court as a hero.
Right, yep.
So, it'd be like saying, look, We don't care who Spider-Man is. As long as, like 5 people in the government know who Spider-Man is, Spider-Man's allowed to appear in court to say, yeah, I walked into this warehouse and I saw Wilson Fisk handling a bunch of cocaine going, excellent, I can give this to small children and get them hooked.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Yes, Your Honor, those are the exact words that he said.
Or, that might have been the guy next to him. I'm not sure. But Wilson Fisk was right
He
there.
also followed it up with, then I'm going to go kill some hookers.
I mean, Wilson Fisk probably would have done that one, but...
Yes, I know.
And I was like, oh, I like that. That's
right.
sensible. And they're like... And there's an entire thing where you don't have to be licensed to use your power. But if you are unlicensed and use your power, you're on the hook for damages.
Makes sense, yeah. Makes sense.
So, it basically... I have super strength and I'm not doing anything with it. But, some dude tried to kill my wife.
Right.
You're allowed to fight back.
Right. Yeah.
Etc.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, this is a nice look at this kind of stuff.
See, unlike apparently Europe and Japan, and this is the thing in Japan, like not My Hero Academia Japan, like normal Japan. There's this concept in America called self-defense and equal use of force. And unlike in Europe, you can actually defend yourself without going to jail. Because America's amazing. But an equal use of force to these situations. So if some guy is like, bruh, I'm gonna kick your ass, and he puts his fists up, you cannot, by law, pull out a gun and shoot him.
Now, you can pull out a gun and tell him to fuck off.
No, actually, you can't.
Oh, you can.
You cannot. You see, in almost every single 99.99% of cases of self-defense, the only time you're allowed to pull a gun out for yourself
is if your life is
your life is in danger. Because and this especially comes to when firing a gun, do not fire warning shots. Because if you are firing warning shots, that means you do not believe your life is in danger.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, and more importantly, that has to do with basic gun safety, i.e.
Well, yes, obviously. But it comes down to the situation of, if you are drawing your gun, you believe you are going to die, and therefore, when you fire your gun, you believe you are going to die. So therefore, when you are firing your gun at the person, you should be shooting to kill them because you think they are going to kill you. Do not go for wounding shots. Do not go for warning shots. You will get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Because you are now using a disproportionate amount of force to defend yourself. If they pull a knife, you can pull a gun. If you see someone else being attacked, you can pull a gun, not point it at them, but you can pull a gun and tell them to back away in the defense of another. In most states, at least. Like, it is very specific what you can do, but you can still do it. Unlike in Europe, unlike in Japan, you are actually able to use force to defend yourself. Fucking Europe.
Yeah, but like I said, and there was a lot of stuff it looked at that I thought was just neat. Yeah. Or like there was an entire construction company, because they had the powers on grade scales essentially, right?
Okay.
And there was this thing where there was just an entire construction company of like C grade supermen. That's all it was like. So how do you guys like build skyscrapers? Oh, we all have like C ranked super strength.
Okay.
So, move metal girder, I can do that.
Right. Okay. I'm down for that. Alright, anyway, let's continue with this fucking shit heap. I want to be a hero. Blah blah blah, clammed up. I don't know if I can be a hero. The detective froze. All he did was stare at the trembling boy. He hated when he heard the truth. The truth were really everything that made him happy, because if he only knew the boy for a couple minutes, Izuku Midoriya deserved for those last words to be a lie. Okay, well that's more of an opinion. That's not like a fact or whatever. That's an opinion of a 6-year-old who just killed someone, going, I don't know if I can be a hero. I literally just killed someone. That's not a fact. That's not a lie being like. Truth or fiction? I don't know if I can do this. It's a lie. You can do this. You're just lying to yourself. No, that's not what he said. He said, I don't know if I can. Doesn't. The phrasing of the statement, I don't know, is you questioning yourself if you can. Doesn't matter whether you can or not. Going, I can't be a hero, that would be a fact or fiction. That is a statement. That is an objective statement. I cannot do this. I don't know if I can do this is an opinion. In their opinion, they do not think they can do this. Or they do not know if they think they can do this. Your opinion is fact.
I was going to say, now that would be a nifty quirk. I believe I'm going to win the lottery this week, for the 5th time in a row. Statisticians baffled by child's seemingly impossible odds.
Alright, let's see. Here we go. Let's get some good stuff here. My name is Yoshikage Kira. I'm 33 years old. My house is in the northeast section of Morio, where all the villas are, and I'm not married.
It's a JoJo reference, you can ignore that one.
Okay, good. Okay. It's okay to make underage girls moan. I know what he's talking about, too.
What?
It's a really weird manga / anime about, like, food wars and shit. It's weird. They get weird, okay?
I don't know if that one is Food Wars, because... well, it might be.
Dude, there is a lot of moaning in that one. I can't believe it cost...
That's the only one
I can't believe it cost an arm and a leg to bring a soul into a metal suit. I can't beat this shit out of you without getting closer, goddammit.
That is also a JoJo reference.
I know. I'm gonna murder people brutally.
I feel like that one can apply to a lot of martial arts.
God damn it, more JoJo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a lot of martial arts jokes like that.
More JoJo.
There's the Evangelion one.
Yep. Help! I found a prototype super weapon in my backyard, and now I'm the only hope for the Earth Federation. Easy there, fucking Gundam!
By the way, that's a great online store for Gundam.
Yes.
It's what it was wondering. Oh. Okay, that one hits hard.
That cat one back.
No, I'm gonna create an anime stream platform and never fix any glitch throwing some shade at Crunchyroll for being a
Fucking
bad
wow.
platform.
Oh. Because my life has no direction, I'll join the Light Music Club. But wait, this is a legitimate band that plays real music, but I can't play any instruments. Oh well, I can always learn. Anyway, shall we have some tea?
I'm gonna guess that's K-On! Based on the GIF?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
See, I was hoping. See, this is the kind of thing that would be ripe for
Yes.
the melancholy
Here we
of
go.
Haruhi.
My brother and I want to kill demons, but I'm the son of Satan. Yeah,
Oh, Devil
boy.
Man.
Oh,
No, Blue Exorcist.
no. Yeah, it's
Ah.
Blue Exorcist.
Will all this body swapping ruin my chances of confessing my love to my friends? Ah, yeah, Koguro.
The answer to that is yes. Yes, it will.
My girlfriend went into a coma after an accident I was partially responsible for, so after waiting 3 years, I'm going out with her best friend instead.
What is that supposed to be?
There are
To
three
save
things.
my friends, I make a deal with a rabbit to become a magical girl.
Oh god. What are these three things? There are three things that I particularly hate: kids, animals, and women with attitudes. What is that one? Oh, Cowboy Bebop, right?
Wait, isn't that one of his actual quotes?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that quote?
There are three things I particularly hate: kids, animals, and women with attitudes.
But by the way, I will become a death scythe even if the moon and the sun themselves laugh at my struggle.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, Soul Eater.
That's an amazing show, and you will be kind.
Except for that ending, though.
We don't talk about that.
It was one of the better anime punches, but...
Rising of the Shield Hero, fuck off.
Goblin Slayer!
I'll become a wizard king without magic. Black
I joined a
Clover.
high school club with my friends in order to survive the apocalypse.
That... okay.
My girlfriend is horrible at magic. I don't make speeches. I punch bitches. Me and my crew versus a handsome murderer, part 4 and 5. Ninja Girls High School.
Dragon Ball Z, friendship never dies.
I'm gonna marry a nun even if it kills me. Oh my god.
Which one was that?
Several, actually.
Oh, okay.
I can't find my dad, and all I got was this hunter license. Wow! Wow! Wow!
Even I know what that is.
I don't.
Hunter times
Hunter,
Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah.
Haven't watched any of it.
Oh, so good.
It's that show. It's that show Wooly likes to complain about sometimes.
That doesn't matter to me at all. I just haven't watched it.
I joined a high school club with my friends in order to survive the zombie apocalypse. That one's a sad one. I don't know. So I don't know the exact name of it, but the premise of the story is that these group of girls all joined the cooking club, or the daily activities club or something like that at school. But what it really is they're deluding themselves into ignoring the zombie apocalypse that occurred.
Huh.
What? How is that possibly supposed to work?
I heard about that one. That was one of the process where it's like, what were you doing? Marathoning a Left 4 Dead or something?
Yeah, basically. Also, apparently trending tags is Bully 2 and Fable 4.
Okay.
Are we getting another bully game?
Maybe.
I'm hopeful we're getting another bully game. I am not hopeful that we're. I'm hoping that we're
Oh,
not
good.
getting another fable.
I summoned
There's-
a female knight who's actually King Arthur to fight in the Holy Grail War. I got into war as through false satirical and ended up meeting myself in the future, and then I killed myself.
I'm sorry. What was that, Sneaky?
I got in a war to a false miracle, and then ended up meeting myself on the future, and then I killed myself.
That's true.
I'm an
Also-
outcast who will ascend to the top of my village's political hierarchy.
By the way,
I gave up an arm and a leg, and now my daddy issues are even worse.
Oh.
that's not right. That's too mean.
Oh, holy shit.
The internet is a wondrous place.
JoJo references.
See, they timed this poorly because JoJo just ended, so it's nothing but shitty fucking JoJo references.
Oh, someone actually made a Gintama one.
I got tricked by a magical talking cat, and now I've got to fight monsters in my depression to delay the heat death of the universe. Ooh.
God, that was such a weird show.
I'm surprised people haven't started memeing that whatchamacallit. What's the Darling in the Franxx. There's something you could meme the hell out of.
Is it?
Have you seen what they do to those children?
Yes, but
JoJo.
the show also flopped super hard. Like,
It
started.
too good. Alright.
I've heard the same thing all over. Oh, this is such a good start. Oh dear God, what have they done? Oh, we're at the edge of no return, and we jumped off the edge.
Let's see.
Wait, I can not get into the damn robot.
Get into the damn robot, Shinji.
What if I don't want to, Dad? If that's even your real name.
God. He fed Jelly in a bridge or something.
There's an abridged series. I'm not surprised. I just
yeah.
never watched it.
Okay, so you just quoted the abridged series without knowing about it. Nailed it.
Ah. I mean, it's not like it's a hard joke to make. Given what occurs in Evangelion, and that the title of the show might as well be Daddy Issues.
What show are we talking about that was good for the first half and then flopped?
Darling in the Franxx.
Oh, yes, yeah. Sorry, I kind of just, blank that out of my brain every single time I hear it.
I'll grant you there's not much worth remembering about it.
Because, for the longest time, everyone was shitting their pants in happiness about it, and I'm just sitting here I don't know, guys, I don't think it's that great.
No, I watched the trailer footage for it, and I was like,
Well, no, I was on several Discords where everyone was like, oh my god, Darling in the Franxx, so amazing, so good.
How did you know exactly, the episode at which it all tanked?
Was it in, 12 or whatever?
I think it was 11 or 12 when everyone just went ballistic. It's like, what the fuck did they do? Why'd they take it this direction?
Here's the thing, right? I was already not watching that show because it looked like it was just shitty giant robots and
sex jokes.
Sex jokes with 14-year-olds, and I was like, I want none of this. I would appreciate it if none of this existed.
But anyway. So let's get on to our next story then. This is Angry Harry and the Seven. And you know it's gonna be good from this title alone.
The title is Angry Harry.
Elaine says, "What, you don't like watching sexualized 14-year-olds, bigot?"
That is correct. In fact, one could even say I find it objectionable and immoral.
Bigot.
You know what? I'm okay with that tag in this particular instance.
Alright, so this is Angry Harry and the Seven. Just how will Dumbledore cope with a Harry who is smart, knowledgeable, sticks up for himself, and even worse than all of that, is betrothed? A Harry who has a penchant for losing his temper. Ravenclaw.
Are you okay?
Come on, Sneaky. Raven Claw.
Ravenclaw.
Sneaky, the answer was not pound more apple juice.
False. Ravenclaw, smart Alec / Lord Harry, almost canon Dumbledore.
I don't know what that means.
Gonna big doubt there, fam. Non-friend Ron. Why is this in the summary? Harry times Daphne, aka Hafni. Author, just stop, please, for the love of everything. No harem, rated for language and lines.
Okay, I'm going to assume that means that this is officially AMA and should not be on this site.
Yeah.
It's how that works, guys.
Just do a fade to black. Look. Fanfiction author. If you take... Someone clip this, by the way, because, honestly. If you take nothing, absolutely nothing from my podcast, if you think every last bit of my advice up until this point has been absolutely worthless, take this one bit of advice from me, and for the love of everything that you hold dear, follow it. Do a fade to black sex scene. No one needs to know how you have never touched a penis in your life.
Now, Sneaky, be fair. It's possible they've never touched any genitals at all.
I mean, that's also fair, but you, as a woman, you kind of have to touch to wipe it when you go to the bathroom. So
Okay. You knew what I meant.
I know what you meant, but let's be clear here. A lot of these authors are men, and they don't even know what to do with their own fucking dick. It's just porno level sex scenes that I've seen from these stories, It's like Harry whips out his 27-inch dick and proceeds to fountain come like it's Old Faithful. And it's just like,
I hope they're still clipping you.
and it's just like, why? Like, at what point in time were you like, you know what I need to do? As a closet virgin, I need to go out and write sex scenes that I think how this is how they operate. Just do a fade to black, author. Just authors everywhere. Just do fade to blacks. Unless you're running a porno, then there would be a very short story if you just faded to black. And honestly, I'm not to don't find too many issues with that, but just, fan fiction, just do a fade to black. We don't need to see your immensely flawed interpretation of what you think sex consists of.
I am going to chime in here. Some of the stuff we've read on this website makes it abundantly clear that these people have never even watched porn, let alone had any kind of actual intercourse with anybody.
Yeah. Anyway. That, and I also don't feel like learning that the author of the story I'm reading is a pedophile who fantasizes about a 7-year-old raping them.
I was going to say, or Catboy Harry, or whatever the depravity of the
I was just
week is.
remembering that Naruto story where Kushina raped the self-insert at age like 6.
Ah, yes. That thing.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm just a PR professional. I don't think so. I don't think anyone should ever hire you, author. Okay, guys and guyettes. Not funny. This is one of epic length, and I mean really long. I mean, he's not lying about that at least. It is 500k words. For those who sent me a note about 4 errors and thought it was long, well, this one's gonna blow that out of the water. This one is going to be around 480k. Okay, well, he hit 490k and completed the story, so I mean, I'll give him kudos for that. To stop all the whining and bitching right now, yeah, like that's ever gonna happen. You'll figure out this is a Hafni story. Please, for the love of God, stop using that word. Just
I don't even understand. What are they trying to say?
Harry, Daphne, Hafni.
Shipping names. Are you not familiar with the concept?
Look, I don't care about most ship names because I think they're all garbage. The only time I've ever liked any ship names was the Ruby fandom, and that's because most of them were entertaining puns.
Instead of just being the two names
I
smashed
will
together,
give the Ruby fandom this. There was an excessive amount of pun ship names, and you know,
even the ones that are for ships that I'm normally like, this is wrong, I'll admit are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Enabler.
Oh yeah, and honestly, props to them. That fucking Google Doc eventually got so big that it just stopped properly loading.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. I now have to wait for it to load ad infinitum before I'm allowed to do anything with that page.
Oh shit, this game finally made it onto the PC.
What game?
What game?
We need to go deeper. I just got Steam just like pinged me like, hey, you've followed this game before.
What is it even about?
Early access?
It's yeah, it was an early access. It's a 2D game about you're in a submarine. It's basically like FTL, but you're in a submarine under the ocean.
Oh, that's officially released, has it?
Yeah.
Oh, good for it. I'm glad it made it all this way.
Kung Fu Hamster Combat. Why are you notifying me about this? Why now?
I'm sorry. What?
Hamster-based combat.
I'm gonna have to look this up now.
Yep. All right then.
Kung Fu at Amsterdam?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
what
so
is this?
Dumbledore is a somewhat good but very manipulative, as per canon. Ron's.
You'll figure it out.
No, I won't. Ron's is ineffective.
Rons? Okay. Yes, you can technically conjugate like that. Ron is. Please don't, though, because that's really weird the way you've done it.
Ron's is an ineffective non-entity. Snape tries to keep sticking his beak in, and gets it repeatedly thwacked with a rolled-up newspaper. That is anti-Semitic. McGonagall gets over her hero worship of the Dum-Dum, I mean Dumbledore. Oh boy.
Boy! Can't tell what the author thinks about this!
Yeah. Hermione is good friend, Cyrus is free, kids are kids, and teenagers are hormones. I can't actually comment on that one, so I won't. There he is. He thought the furious young raven-haired boy with bright green eyes, I say as I wish to execute myself already. That's the R-swipe responsible for dumping me on the Dursleys. He was walking last in line, alone, of about 40 children roughly the same age as he. They walked up between two long tables with children of various ages from 11 to 17. Sitting to his left were children wearing robes trimmed with yellow and black, and to his right were robes trimmed with blue and brown. The tables were covered in flatware and crockery that appeared to be made of gold. And actually, author, you have already fucked up because it goes, let's see, what is it? There's Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, then Slytherin.
It goes, nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares, Gryffindor.
That's fair enough. Say ages, blah blah blah, robes trimming. Light filling. Children ahead of him were looking around, uttering sounds of awe and whispering to each other about what they saw. One young, bushy, brown-haired lass just in front of him was talking to a blonde-haired lass about how the ceiling was supposed to be charmed to show the next guy. Look, okay, author. I know you want to describe people, but there are many situations where you can just go. To Harry's observations, one girl was talking to another. And then when he actually gets into a conversation with the person, he can go, just taking in their features, they are a brown-haired, bushy-tailed, blue-eyed girl. Look. I don't know about you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. But whenever I enter a room, I don't look around at everyone and go, yes, that man is brown-haired, short-haired, and blue-eyed. Yes, that man is brown-haired, long-haired, and brown-eyed. Yes, that girl
But Sneaky,
is
any of them could be a murderer, and I need to be able to identify them to the police.
I suppose in Chicago it's a bit different.
Look, being able to give an accurate witness statement is just part of a civilian's duty. Unless you're in the South Side, then you have to give as inaccurate a statement as possible.
Of course, of course. The raven-haired boy was only paying attention to it all almost prehippally. Of course, yes. Don't you just prehippally take in the attributes and features of every single person around you? Especially as a odd 11-year-old? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Of course. Look, all I'm saying is I was playing a video game on my Game Boy once, Pokemon specifically, because that's all I ever played on Game Boy. And I walked straight into a pole. Now, I don't know if that says anything about me or just the inattentiveness of children who are distracted by something shiny in general. But I didn't notice I had walked into a pole either. It was
okay, hold on a minute.
Later.
How did you walk into a pole and not... Like, I can understand walking into the pole and going, I'm stupid, I walked into a pole.
Right.
How do you not notice ramming face first into a hunk of metal?
Well, you see, I rammed face first into the hunk of metal, and then I stepped backwards and moved around it.
Right.
How do you even know it was
that would imply
pole
you noticed it at some point.
No, I did not notice it. I was told about a minute later after my family stopped laughing at me that I had walked into a pole. And when I felt my nose, it did in fact hurt, so I can only assume they were correct on that one.
What?
And yes, my family did straight up let me walk into a metal pole, and didn't even ask if I was hurt. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just what family does. The goal was probably to teach you a life lesson.
No, there was no goal there. I have successfully, in my scholastic career, run into a door at least once a week as well.
I think this says more about you than children around that age.
Yes, I was not talking about me being that age either. I'm talking about all the way up to college.
Oh, this says more about you. Definitely.
But I don't know what that says about me.
In fact, it says a good deal about you.
That I actively ram things with my face and continue them on unabated?
Yes, it means the ladies need to take note.
You know, I am very dense.
I'm trying to help you here.
Are you?
God knows you need it.
Almost his entire focus was on the man wearing garish robes and a long white beard, sitting on what looked like a golden throne. Is he really? Yeah, he is. He knew what the man was, Albus Arsewipe Dumbledore, the one who sentenced him to 10 years of hell.
And how did he learn this information?
We'll find out next time on this episode of Dragon Ball Z. Now that Atin has gone beyond Super Saiyan, we can continue.
I've achieved Super Saiyan Quattro.
Indeed. Ultra Instinct plus Super Saiyan
So
God Mode.
You
Quattro,
gained a tail
Mega.
and red fur then. Good for you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was too busy mocking a TV show. What'd you say, Max?
Oh no, I'm mocking it with you. GT was crap.
McGonagall, a tall, stern-looking woman. Also a little bit racist if you think about it. Getting stronger by turning into a giant ape.
I mean, apes are quite literally stronger than people, so not really. Look, if it was Mr. Popo, I'd say I would agree with you. But they took care of the racist quotient with Mr. Popo.
Oh.
Oh, what are you talking about? Isn't he blue?
You can't Disney us. We know he was black.
Oh God. Fucking poor kids. I still watch.
Was always the best.
I still watch occasionally the parody video of the 4Kids dubs Kill la Kill.
That's a pretty good one.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, okay. So someone made a parody of if 4Kids dubbed it, and it went from fighting a fascist dictatorship in a school to beating the local school bullies.
Also, she was dressed up as a hamburger and a hot dog. And all the blood was ketchup.
Okay, what about what about all of the everything, really?
They're all dressed up in hot dog and hamburger costumes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Please tell me it's poorly rotoscoped on.
Oh, of course, obviously. Yeah, it was an amazing parody. I'll send it after the stream's over, or Max can send it. Anyway, so McGonagall, blah blah blah, blah blah. 7 years old, headaches, blah blah blah, force of will. Alright, so this is the AU, I guess, is that the Horcrux was acting up since he's been 7. That's when his anger began to build, his rage, as he forced it back. Coping mechanism, Dursleys never allowed him painkillers. As always, it made him feel within himself as he was suffocating. Blah blah, singing head, blah blah blah, clapping, blah blah blah, roll call, blah 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 blah. The evening his aunt hit him on the side of the head with a frying pan. Actually, she didn't, but I guess in this AU she did. Slipped out of his hands, making a racket. His aunt stormed in, grabbing the pan and bashing him on the side of the head with it. The hit had knocked him unconscious and didn't kill him somehow.
Thank you, Max. Be watching that probably over dinner.
And he woke up with a headache, and blah blah blah, felt blah 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 blah. He had headaches. I mean, bro, your skull got fractured quite severely, so you having headaches isn't a surprise. Shoving those thoughts aside, blah blah, the Harry Potter, blah blah blah.
Like, see, again, this is the kind of thing where why wouldn't he go, like, at some point be, I really need to see a doctor?
I don't know.
Like, I understand that he's been abused, but, like, the issue is, what the Dursleys did to Harry Potter was very low-key.
Well, I mean,
they didn't beat him.
It was still criminal offenses.
No,
it was criminal negligence. It was starvation. There was beatings, but it was never like bone-breaking beatings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He never at any point would have gotten to the point where he would go, I need to see a doctor now because this is not okay.
Right. Yeah, isolation, yeah.
Certainly terrible stuff, but nothing that would make a child like snap out of it and go, I have to see a doctor.
Right.
The kind of thing where he gets like a skull fracturing smack, that's the kind of thing where even a kid goes, I need to see a doctor.
Yeah. Well, just to suspend your disbelief, I suppose, for the moment.
Look, Harry Potter gets 0 suspension of disbelief, but that has more to do with J.K. Rowling than anything else. See, she might have thought she was encouraging my suspension of my disbelief by saying wizards shat themselves, but she in fact did the opposite. Because I don't care how easily you can magic it away. No one's gonna go, yes, the appropriate course of action is to just expel shit down my legs.
You telling me it's not?
There's a fetish for that, Sneaky.
Yeah, I should probably ask Nosehair. He would know more then.
Really? You're gonna give that? You're gonna ascribe that to the poor child?
He's not here to defend himself. I can ascribe whatever the hell I want to him.
Lord, what have you ascribed to me when I'm not here?
Nothing, actually. I don't talk about you when you're not here.
You know, given what you could do, I'll take it.
Blah blah blah, ass wipes, blah blah blah, stool, blah blah blah, smell. The smell was the most powerful of his memories.
The smell of shit.
And that stool you're sitting on is actually transfigured poop.
Do you like it, Harry?
Get it, Harry? It's a stool! You know, I would not put that outside of fucking wizards, you know? That's nasty. Thank you. Anyway, blah blah, Dumbledore, blah 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 blah. Best place for him, blah blah letter. McGonagall was like, what? Excuse me. I said, no, I will not be sorted. I will not be attending this school. Mr. Potter, you must. Bullshit, lady. The only reason why I even came here was to meet face to face the asshole who dumped me as a baby on the doorstep of people who spent 10 years of abusing me. Well, now that I've seen them, you all disgust me. Everyone was horrified by what they heard. Harry then turned around and stormed off. Suddenly he stopped. He turned around and looked back up towards the head table. He could see the old fool had risen to his feet and raised his wand, really. Harry then threw his robe off over his head and threw it onto the floor. So apparently he's stripping. And he turned to the Hufflepuff table.
Alright, so there's currently nothing different from the start of most Harry Potter stories. Dumbledore raises his wand and Harry strips.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow!
Oh.
Whoa, wow. Okay, dude. Oh, wow.
Oh, be quiet.
That's what Dumbledore said.
Keep it down, Harry. McGonagall will hear. And she likes that. Harry Potter and the Chamber of BDSM. I'm sure someone's written that, haven't they?
Oh,
I'm sure someone has written it with
several.
that exact title.
Mm-hmm.
Isley, you would know.
Isley's not here. Isley's never here anymore.
Isley has abandoned us.
Isley has abandoned us. I'm subtracting 10 cents from her pay.
Isley is being worked to death in the Amazon warehouses, apparently.
Good. Then she won't need 10 cents.
Let's see, how much can we make it sound like an Amazon rainforest? The dank, musty, sweaty depths of an Amazon warehouse.
And that still accurately describes an Amazon warehouse.
Yep. Although, to be fair, the actual Amazon rainforest doesn't have, like, mobility scooters for the managers.
And he stood on top of the table, and then once he was standing on top of this table, he then proceeded to continue stripping more. I was joking about that.
Haven't been proved wrong yet.
God damn it! Why am I a prophet? I want to be a prophet of good things, like me winning the lottery tomorrow, not a child stripping.
I'll be honest. Why does that feel like that should be a line in a shitty anime?
Probably because it should be. You people think me some kind of hero, like I'm some sort of great person? Well, down to his shirt, he ripped off his shirt, leaving him bare-chested, and he threw his arms out wide and snarled. Take a look at the evidence of how your supposed hero has been treated. None of that bullshit your parents told you, none of that bullshit in your books. These are the visible ones, the ones that never healed properly. Everyone gasped and had exclamations of horror from the scars on his body. Okay, that's where I stop you, author. The amount of damage you would have to do to someone to scar them, especially as a child, because children do not actually surprisingly scar easily.
I was going to say, if children scarred, all of the things I did as a child would have gotten my parents investigated by CPS.
What?
Like sprinting down hills, sliding down a shale hill on like plywood. Like all of it was incredibly fun, but incredibly dangerous.
What's wrong with you?
Max, I had a giant hill of shale and gravel, and we wanted to go sledding, but it was July.
You literally just had to wait like 2 to 3 months.
Max, tell me, what are 6-year-olds known for? Is it their patience or their immediate gratification?
No, it's definitely their patience. Don't you know every single 6-year-old is actually its age?
It really is astounding it's astounding that our parents' generation and most of our generation made it to the ages we are, considering how much dumb shit we did outside.
Oh my god, we
yes.
did so much stupid shit.
Like, I look back at some of the shit I did, it's just like, wow, that was a great way to break my neck as a child.
I mean, like,
Oh,
I
of
still
course.
remember the time where I convinced, like, 30 kids that the best idea possible was to see how many people we could fit into one of those covered slides.
Why would you?
And so, it was literally like a blood clot of children in this slide.
Now there's a clip for the internet.
We called the game Squish the Lemon.
You
You're a
know,
fucking idiot.
We are the smartest generation.
I mean, we had the swing, like proper swings, the ones that were like 10 feet up.
Right.
Oh yeah, go flying off so you can go the furthest or the highest, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jumping off?
absolutely.
Or
I
were you
remember
one of the-
once I got to the point. I waited until I was almost starting to go over the swing. And then you just kind of let go. I did the superhero landing. Didn't break any bones. No idea how. I should have shattered my freaking kneecap.
I bet you're regressing parts of that memory.
Probably.
I'm willing to put down money you might be regressing some parts of that memory.
Here's the thing. I never went to the doctor.
As far as you remember.
Oh, there was another time. This is another fun
No,
story
as
of
far
mine.
as my parents have told me, I have never broken a single bone in my life.
As far as you're aware. So this is like height of stupidity. So it's a hot day. I'm skipping. You guys know how
I was gonna say,
agile
now
I
see,
am.
now I know you're a child because present day Sneaky is not sober enough to skip.
I was like 6, 7, 8, 9-ish. Yeah. I'm skipping in flip flops downhill on a public walkway next to a tree. Can you guess what happened?
You got a visit from the Tooth Fairy that night.
No. I proceeded to skid about like 5 or so feet on my knees down the hill.
I would say one of my personal favorites was we were learning how to ride bikes. And the first bikes my brother and I ever had were 21 speed bikes. In retrospect, I think it's because our father wanted to laugh at us.
Fair enough.
That's a fantastic introduction to your father on this stream.
My father
father's
gave
a
us
wonderful
exceedingly
man.
dangerous bikes, and I think he wanted to laugh as we hurt ourselves on them.
Well, here's the thing. Our first experience with these bikes, he would just push us down a gentle hill. And when I say, I mean, no, truly, like it was like a gentle hill. Like this was maybe like
20, 30 degrees.
Not even. Like
Ooh, okay.
15. Like this was the most gradually sloping hill I've seen in a long time. Now, my brother's going down this hill, and he does start picking up speed, and he's getting. It's important because the road curved away. Now, my brother, rather than lean with the curve, wanted to try to stop. He had not yet incorporated which brake was front brake. He also didn't remember how to use the brakes until he hit right before he hit the curb. So he basically brought the bike to a screeching halt with the back tires, or the front tires rather, just as he hit the curb. He went off the bike over the curb went over the curb and onto him.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Now, this was, of course, a blessed memory for myself.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of blessed memories about brothers
Because
getting
I
hurt.
wasn't there.
Oh.
Rather, I wasn't the one getting hurt.
Right. Speaking of blessed memories of brothers getting hurt. So we're skiing.
I bet you have a lot of those.
Yes. So we're skiing. Right. And older brother's never skied before. And he decides to go down this blue diamond. Or whatever. Blue diamond, yeah.
You mean black?
No. See, it's blue diamond because it was a blue trail that got intersected by a black diamond at one point.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. So he didn't know this, though. Because I read the map.
That seems pointlessly cruel.
I read the map and I knew this. He didn't read the map. He didn't know this. So when the trail opened up from the blue trail into the black diamond, he was just like, oh, this is the part where we go down the hill. So he turns down the black diamond.
No, senor.
And he proceeds to hit, what are they called? The moguls? The little tiny hills of...
That is indeed a mogul.
Yeah.
At least I'm pretty sure it's a mogul.
You know what I'm talking about. So he hits one of these. In skis. Going full speed. So he used to fly off of it. Tilt down. His skis hit the snow. He keeps going. His skis are still in the snow.
I see.
And he proceeds to hit the ground, bounce, spin in the air, hit the ground again, spin in the air.
Just keeps going, doesn't it?
And spin in the air again. Until face planting into the snow and sliding to the stop. I'm just sitting there losing my shit.
As is to be expected.
You have never seen the real limits of what a human body can do until you've gone skiing.
Noted, I guess.
Because the snow offers just enough impact that it
to bounce.
That it doesn't stop your fall and doesn't hurt you too badly. But at the same time, it also doesn't help your fall. Especially when you're on a black diamond filled with melts of snow.
You know, most people's survival instincts would have kicked in and would have made it down to the hill relatively on a ski, probably.
No,
Brother,
both
apparently.
skis just went fucking like 10 feet in each direction.
Which also tells me that he didn't secure them properly. Which, who knows, might have saved him broken ankles.
I mean, I have gotten into a crash like that before, but as I was like, freaking turning in air, I was able to, because one ski already had popped off, I was able to get the other boot under the other ski, because I was like, fuck shit, I don't want to land with this one ski on. What you don't want to do, when you're spinning in midair, is have your ski get caught on something and torque in the other direction. It's how you get broken legs, kids.
So that's why the Mafia always wants people to go skiing.
No, I think they always wanted them to go skiing because they wanted to ice pick them.
I like my interpretation better. Because it's elaborate.
But anyway, so scars on the baby boy. And everyone's gasping, and he was in horror, and his head hurt so much, and he didn't see a redheaded girl crying and run out of the room. He didn't see the pain because he was in pain, and the pressure was starting to choke him. This is how you believe your hero should be treated, is it? Is it your intent for your hero to be beaten and whipped, fed nothing but table scraps? I mean, only like half of that happened. Treated like a slave while my fat uncle and werewolf cousin fed themselves to morbid obesity and tormented me? Was it you? Well, who was responsible for dumping me here? It was all-powerful Albus, Percival, Wolf like Brian, Dumbledore, Minerva, McGonagall, and Rubius Hagrid. Arseholes, the lot of you. And then the pain in his head was too much, and he passed the fuck out. 4 years earlier, flashback time.
Oh god, this wasn't the end of the chapter.
Nope.
Why was it not the end of the chapter?
Young
Also,
Harry
I like
Potter.
I like how we still got Harry being righteously indignant at McGonagall, who was clearly trying to stop Albus from making this mistake.
Yes, but you see...
I mean, you could make the argument, yeah, she could have tried harder, but again, she at least tried to get him to see reason and how stupid an idea it was.
Young Harry Potter grew up knowing he had weird memories. He could always remember everything, but they were disjointed. And he only remembered the fractions of memories, and memories would always intrude upon him on odd moments, and blah, a memory triggered by something or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Headaches, blah, blah, cousin's gang, blah, blah. He found a book that covered improving one's memory recall. I've tried that before, it didn't work.
Sneaky, that's because you have brain damage.
Yeah, that's true enough.
There's a difference between someone like my brother, who's forgetful,
Right.
and you, who has brain damage.
Fair enough. And how the meditation could be used in order to order an unordered mind, or that one was simply cluttered with unorganized memories. So during the times he was locked in the cupboard, he learned how to meditate. Once he managed to meditate, he learned to review his memories and learned how to file them away within his mind. To file them away, he built a palace inside his mind, and within the palace he created library shelves. Oh fucking boy. I sure do love these. I love how it wasn't even like a magical book about occlumency that told him how to do this. It was like, do these tricks to, improve your memory, because that actually does work for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Harry was like, all right, I see these tricks, and I raise you a mind palace filled with library shelves with all of my memories organized as books. Says the 6-year-old or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 6 or something. Yeah. Okay.
All of this so that he can be incredibly intelligent by the time he's 10.
Of course, obviously. Because, people just aren't naturally that intelligent. Oh, we have never had someone be smart at age 10. Never! If you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. Like legit brain damage? Yes, sweet potatoes, like legit brain damage. Blah, 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 shelf space, books, headache. He also learned from the school librarians that he ordered all of his books, blah, 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 and then he made a list. And that list was creating a mind palace, organizing his books. He required far less sleep. He was not bothered by his headaches anymore. So, author, you seem to have some weird interpretations of how pain is handled by the body. That's like a magical side effect of a mind palace. And when you are in a constant pain, your body learns to ignore it. Because if the pain never stops, the brain prioritizes it on a lower level, on a level where you still know it's there and you're just like, wow, ow, this hurts a lot, but you can still function on it. Like, I had a roommate who had impacted his spine, and he was in unbelievable agony for the rest of his life past that point. But he kept functioning just fine because he was in that same level of agony the whole time. So his brain was just like, well, this isn't going away, so we're just going to deprioritize this and move on.
This is reality now.
Yeah. It's amazing with him, but like my late grandfather on my dad's side, he went a number of years with a broken hip. It, no one caught it.
Yeah.
Like, he was in for some sort of physical examination. Doc's like, all right, we need x-rays. Like, hey, you know you have a broken hip, right? Yeah, and it looks like it didn't set properly. How long has it happened? Well, okay.
Yep. He was able to better control his emotions, so he was far less likely to become angry. He could speed read books in the library, memorizing its contents, and then he could spend his time reading it inside his mind. If the memories he had as an infant were real, then he knew what had really happened to his parents, and he knew why he was living with the Dursleys. And he only ever had to study something once, and he knew it from then on. He did not need to review his work nor study for exams. See, I'm actually sort of like that too with the last one. But it's nothing like, oh, I can just instantly recall it. It's like, I'll recall it at the point in time where it's not necessary. But studying more doesn't help me either. So I'll just be like, oh yeah, I know this material. And I'll look at it more, and nothing will change. I won't remember it better. No, it's just, yeah.
So what you're saying is that you managed to get a really shitty bargain bin version of eidetic memory.
Yes.
To be fair, that does describe the majority of this man's life.
It sounds like my grandpa. He had arthritis to the point where his hip bone was bone on bone, and finally did something about it with his joint used solid. Ugh.
Well, like, it sounds dumb, but like, even the Dresden Files mentions this. Like, when Harry Dresden is a ghost, he goes, holy crap, I forgot how many things in my life hurt.
Yeah.
From getting hit with bats, to getting shot, to the horrible bird, like...
Why does this all hurt so much again? Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just more that he was in a position where when it stopped hurt, he literally said, you know, now that it stopped hurting, I'm like, boy, this is pretty nice.
See, that's why I got a really big giggle. I don't know if they cross-posted it to the our Discord, but there was a Reddit post. I think it was either a Reddit post or a writing prompt of like, you and a clone are locked in into a room, and only one of you is allowed to leave. What do you do? And the top post was, I would take my keys, my license, and my wallet and give it to my clone and say, look, I've been living a lot longer than you. I deserve this first. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that did get cross-posted.
I deserve this. Good luck. Harry Potter was sending us wait, 4 years. Okay, so we had a flashback. This whole flashback was specifically so we could flash back to Harry getting power up, and now we flash back forward, and Harry's cooking food. Get the mail. Make Harry get it. Boy, get the mail. And so Harry got the mail. and then he looked at the mail and was like, "Whoa, this mail's for me." So
See, that's the kind of thing that I just don't
he
understand.
hid the mail.
They're like, we need to punish him. Make him get the mail. What? Make him do something every kid's done forever?
After the dishes and cutlery was put away, he had slices of cold toast and uneaten bacon. These he pulled out of his pockets, turned to a sandwich. Okay. After making it, he drew a letter out and dressed it in pockets, and he opened up the letter, and he was looking around, and he went into his mind palace and found the relevant memories, and discovered all the information he ever knew about all this stuff when he was a baby. And then he memorized the metro system on how to get to that area. And then he proceeded to use a book that he read previously to manipulate the Dursleys into allowing him to go there. Let's see, blah blah blah. What the fuck? He had a little sideline going on with other kids at school. He hid in the library and did all their homework for them, but they had to meet his prices, and when they did, they received back homework worthy of top marks. All they had to do was rewrite it into their own handwriting. Nobody but his personal agents knew his real identity, and even if someone managed to get one of his
What
agents...
is this special agent Harry Potter bullshit?
Apparently, Harry is running a homework ring at age 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. The morning after, Harry was up early, blah blah blah, leaky cauldron, blah blah, bricks, blah blah, what do you want, lizard? Sorry to bother you, sir. My parents, wanted to find out if my parents left me any money. I'm Harry Potter. Wait there, and I'll have the Potter account manager for you. Mr. Potter, yes, follow me, please. Okay, so this is one of the things that, I don't know if this is canon or not, but as far as I was aware, in canon, Gringotts actually has a illusion dispelling thing at their entranceway.
I thought they had something like that, which was a
Like
it
was referred to as like anti-thief stuff or whatever, and
it may have just been that she just said anti-thief stuff.
yeah, it's possible the specifics were in fact canon, but it would make sense for a bank that has a warning saying "Thieves beware, you'll find more than you wanted here" on it. Would have some form of magic that would break disguises on entering their bank. I wouldn't be shocked at all to find out that that was true. There's a waterfall that erases all illusion magics, and carts go through it on the way to the vault. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's something I never really understood as to why. I see a lot of Harry Potter fan fictions, and where they're like, "I'm Harry Potter." Oh yeah, really? Well, you gotta stab yourself with this dagger to prove who you are. And it's just like, don't you guys have some form of magic that like erases illusions and shit, so you can just take him to the Potter Vault, and then it turns out he's not Harry
And if
Potter.
you're concerned about
him?
Polyjuice, keep him in a room for...
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can meet the Potter account manager. Just wait in this waiting room we have set up right here, and then you wait in the waiting room for an hour, and then suddenly you're not Harry Potter anymore. It's like, yeah, like, come on. Maybe they just like wizards stabbing themselves. You can always just roll it like that. But it's just like, don't you guys like have methods that already don't require you to stab yourself? Anyway, his anger was threatening to break into full rage. He needed a distraction. He looked into the alleyway and discovered a place with lots of books, and so he went into the bookshop. The creatures, the goblins they were called, did a blood test and realized that he's had owls coming to him that were being blocked, and they were like, "Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Let's give you all your mail again."
How'd they get his mail?
Because yep, and blah blah blah, owls, powder keeper account, blah blah. We went to go collect his money, blah blah blah. Surface, blood thing, coin pouch, blood locked to him. Of course it was. Carried documents, in the bookshop. He went to go buy books, and the sales clerk was like, "Sure, I'll get you some books. Here's the books. Thank you for the books. Certainly I can help you find more books. Thank you for those books." Blah 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 blah. He bought a crap ton of books to use as an excuse as to why Harry Potter is suddenly super strength. Blah 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 blah.
It just keeps going.
Blah blah. He paid for all the books. Would you like me to shrink those books for you? Shrink the books? Yo, yes. You must be Muggle-born. That's why you bought all those other books. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just shrink the books for you. Watch. And then she shrinks the books and goes, "See?" And Harry was absolutely awed by the fact that magic could shrink things. Seems pretty basic, let's be honest here. Shrinking and growing things and setting things on fire and crap, like that seems pretty standard. If magic was like, hey, you know what? We can turn lead into cake. I'd be like, holy shit. But if they're like, "Oh yeah, magic, we can turn you invisible," I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty standard for magic. Invisibility, flying, shrinking, growing, fire, ice. Pretty standard shit for magic in general.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, this lead block is now a cake. Okay. Didn't see that coming. But anyway, so, Porter's Portmanteus to purchase your school trunk. Oh wow. His name is Trunk Man. Very original author. Very, very original. Thank you, Elaine, for confirming that they do in fact have that shit in canon. Anyway, so then Harry found a cafe and was like, wow, I'm hungry. So he decided to eat at the cafe. And then he opened up 2 letters that he had now. One from his mother, saying that she loved him. And then another letter from Cyrus, going, I'm sorry about stuff and whatever. And for your information, words and stuff. And also, you are betrothed to Daphne. And blah words. And we decided we had to trust you with someone just in case something happened. And words and stuff. And you're married to her now. Also, I'll have to teach you about lordships and stuff at some point. I don't know whenever you'll read this letter, but you'll need to read this letter. Your guardians and Bloodfang will be able to help you adjust to everything and cede the title of Ancient House. You also need to know the Potters are in alliance with the houses of Longbottom and Bones, and are secretly allied with the houses of Black and Greengrass. If you haven't already, you need to contact the heads of houses of everyone involved, and you need to take the headship of House Potter once you turn 11. This is very important as it can be viewed as you snubbing their houses and alliances if you don't do this. And you must approach these other houses secretly and carefully because you are not in direct contact with them. Now that the scary official stuff is out of the way, I want you to know that I love you. Signed, James Dad Potter. Still sleeping on the couch because I married you off without my wife's permission. Cool story, brava. And that's the end of the chapter. Yeah, Elaine, I have all links banned. You'll have to drop it in the Discord.
Oh, I'm glad that's done. That was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened.
I probably would have been more interested if this was a completely original fiction. But even then, it would still...
Not really, no. I mean, I'm already not interested at all, but I'd be even less interested if it was an original fiction, because it's just so bland. Like, there's nothing there. Oh!
Generic?
Yeah, not even generic, because it's not common. It's just bland. It's like, oh, the main character who never knew about magic was inducted into a secret magical world and decided to not go to the magical school because he read a letter one time from his father and mother who he didn't know ever after he gained superpowers of super memory. Then he realized that he was actually betrothed to another little girl, and then he's angry and stuff. What is my answer to all that? It's like, okay, so what's the driving conflict of this story? He's angry? You know, like Aragon. The setup for Aragon is a young boy goes on an adventure and slowly discovers the reality of the events taking place behind the scenes. Because everyone knew the king was bad and cruel, but Aragon didn't truly know the depths of his depravity until he went on this adventure. He gained the what's the best word for it? He gained the passion to defeat this king, the more wrongs he learned that the king had performed. And, you know, like, that sounds interesting. He gets a fucking dragon, he's got a mentor, he finds a long-lost brother, you know, he fights monsters and demons. Sounds cool. This story is some kid who's got super smart powers of smartness and memories and crap, was abused, and then he went to a magical school and told them all to fuck off, and then he left because he's angry. Also, he's married to someone.
Hooray!
Cool. Stream done?
The stream is in fact finished. Finito. Donrito. I will thank you all for arriving at some point in time and staying till this point in time. I appreciate your dedication to the arts. If you could all show up on Friday, that would be fantastic. If you could tell people to show up on Friday, that would be even better. If you could share this stream to people, that would be glorious. But, as you all know, we will see you next time because there is always more and it will always get